Can everybody see the screen okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. My name is Leticia Reynoso, and I am the agency manager here at CVR.
Go to the screen below everyone. You see the little up, down, down, just a little bit. That thing, that can be slid up.
It can be slid up. Okay. Okay.
Way to avoid it.
Is it okay if I proceed?
Yes, go ahead. We were just doing a little bit of work here.
Okay. I don't know if you guys want to put me on mute. It's up to you. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to ask. There is some Q&A at the end of the presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed. So on the screen, and you're correct, so there is a change in the medical. Regents is terminating at the end of this month. It is effective January 1st. So we'll go over the two plan options, Delta Dental and the Vision, and then the voluntary benefits that are available. Open enrollment begins today. We do ask that everybody complete an enrollment form or a waiver and have it returned by Monday so we can process internally and make sure everybody gets their ID cards at the end of this month, beginning of next month. I would recommend if anybody needs to fill a prescription, things of that nature, to do that from now to the end of the month in the event that there's some lag in getting the benefit cards and all that good stuff in January. So I do make that recommendation. Eligibility, everybody that is on the phone, all full-time employees are all eligible for benefits, aside from yourself, your legal spouse, domestic partners, and children up to the age of 26. So the children that turn 26, they terminate coverage in the last day of the month in which they turn 26. And then they will be provided some COBRA information if they want to continue their coverage. As I stated earlier, these benefits are going to begin January 1st, and with all the pre-tax benefits, medical, dental, vision, you are locked in for 12 months unless you have a qualified event. Some examples here on the screen of marriage, divorce, loss of coverage, adoption. If you become eligible for Medicaid or Medicare, that's also a qualifying event. Please contact your HR team within 31 days of the date of the event so we may review your options with you. Any questions?
Don't think so.
Okay. We're going to go over the two plans that are being offered. The first plan is called a PPO 1000. 1000 being the individual deductible, 2000 being the family deductible. On this plan, when you need to worry about your deductible is with a major medical, such as inpatient, outpatient hospitalization, CAT scans, MRIs, things of that nature. If you don't need any of those services, you really don't need to worry about your deductible. If you happen to use those services and you meet your deductible in a calendar year, then you're going to go into cost share with Aetna. So Aetna at that point will pick up 80% of the cost, and you are responsible for 20% until you meet that out-of-pocket maximum. So in a calendar year, if you meet that out-of-pocket maximum, you will be into 100% coverage, which means no more out-of-pocket expenses at the point of service, doctors, and prescriptions. Preventative care on both plans is covered at 100%. So under healthcare reform, there are 63 preventative exams we're entitled to, depending on age and gender. So again, no cost associated there, and that includes lab that's associated with your preventative exams. It is still, however, your responsibility to make sure that the lab that you go to or visit to, if it's an outside facility, is a contracted provider and is in network. Office visits on this plan, if you need to go see your regular doctor, a telemedicine provider, or your walk-in convenience care clinics, those are going to be a $25 copay. Your specialist, and on this plan you can self-refer to a specialist, it's $50. Urgent care, I do apologize, it's a typo there, it's $75 copay, not 100%, so it's a $75 copay for your urgent care on this plan, and your emergency room is going to be $250 copay. Now, if you go into the emergency room and you have to spend the night, which you're admitted into the hospital, the $250 will be waived, but at that point you will start to pay towards your deductible. Then prescriptions, you have a 30-day retail supply for some copays. So you have your generic medications, either a $3 or $10 copay. Your preferred brand name medications, $35, brand name $60, and the specialty medications such as injectables, you're going to pay 25% of the cost up to $250. Now on this plan, you also have 90-day mail order supply that's available to you. You have to use the Aetna mail order and have your physician write you a 90-day script, and it is 2 copays. I'm not sure what's going on here. Remind me tomorrow. Yes, it is. You save at least 1 copay if you go through that mail order, so it's a little bit of a savings there. Also, a good resource if you're on some expensive medications or prescriptions, Costco or any wholesale type facility, they have a pharmacy. They're freestanding pharmacies, not regulated by the membership, so you can walk in there and get your scripts filled. Also, good website or app is GoodRx, and that is a good resource. Type in your zip code and the prescription that you're taking, and it'll find in your area the lowest cost prescription. So it's a good resource to have. Any questions on this plan? Okay. We're going to go to the next plan. The next plan is the PPO 3500, and this is a high deductible health plan, which means everything is going to be subject to your deductible, with the exception of 3 things. Your preventative care services are covered before your deductible. Your maintenance medications are covered before deductible, and FDA-approved contraceptives are covered before your deductible. If you have a question as to your prescription, as to where it falls, if it's free prior to deductible, you can email me the name of the script, or I can send you the formulary and you can take a look at that. So the high deductible health plan obviously allows you to open up a health savings account, or HSA, put in some pre-tax dollars in there, and I believe the company also contributes to the HSA. On this plan, you have a $3,500 deductible as an individual, $7,000 as a family. Now, if you meet that, then you're going to go into that cost share. Similar to the other plan, it's an 80-20, and then your out-of-pocket maximum is $5,950 for an individual and $11,900 as a family. Again, all of your co-pays, everything that you spend at the point of service, everything goes towards accumulating towards your out-of-pocket maximum on both plans. So your deductible, your co-insurance, and all co-pays go towards that out-of-pocket maximum to kind of bring that down. Any questions on the high deductible health plan? This speaks a little bit about the HSA. I know on your enrollment guide, that was part of the attachment. It's called the 2020 benefit guide. Page 8 and 9 of that benefit guide speak to our partnership with UMB Bank. That is who we utilize for the HSA account. So I do recommend that if you're going to enroll and take advantage of the contribution, go into follow the links on there, open your UMB account, and let us know, or let Jasmine know in our office that you've opened the account, so we have a place to put your pre-tax deductions and company contributions into. So the HSA account, obviously some qualifiers. You have to enroll in a high deductible health plan, which you have available here. You cannot be covered by another non-HSA account. You cannot be enrolled in any part of Medicare, and you cannot be somebody else's dependent on their tax returns. Just some qualifiers there. And also, aside from what the company contributes, you may also contribute. Just keep in mind to deduct the company contributions to the annual IRS maximums. So for the 2020 plan year, as an individual, the maximum that can go into an HSA account is $3,550, and as a family, $7,100. Now, under IRS rules, a family is considered 1+, so it could be 1 plus a child, 1 plus spouse, or an entire family. Now, if you're 55 plus and not yet enrolled in any part of Medicare, you can add an additional $1,000 to that, making it $4,550 and $8,100. Okay. And again, this is yes.
Oh, Letitia, I have a question. So if I sign up for the HSA, can I at all use it if my spouse is not covered? He's covered under Medicare. So can I use it for his meds?
Yes, you can use it for dependents as well, as long as it's a qualified medical expense.
So even though he doesn't have health insurance with Aetna, I can still use the HSA for my spouse.
You can, but if you enroll as an employee as an employee only, your annual maximum is $3,550. Unless you're 55 plus, then you can add an additional $1,000.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay. We're going to move on to the next screen. So this is the flexible spending account, or FSA, similar to an HSA with a couple of differences. One, the HSA, that's your money, stays with you, rolls over year over year. If you leave the company, you take it with you. The FSA, you have an annual maximum of $2,500. It's still pre-tax dollars that you set aside, but the maximum carryover is $500 year over year, and you have to re-enroll annually. So if you enroll in 2020 and forget to re-enroll in 2021, you've lost that money. Also, if you leave the company, that money does not go with you. It stays behind. You can use, again, these pre-tax dollars for qualified medical expenses for yourself and all dependents. If you enroll in a high deductible health plan, you cannot enroll in a flexible spending account. So they're two different components. If you enroll in the PPO copay plan, you can pair it with the FSA. If you enroll in the high deductible health plan, you pair that with the HSA. And again, one of the other differences is if you enroll in this plan, you have that maximum, if you enroll the full maximum of $2,500 available at the beginning of the year. So it's available immediately, if you will, to use towards all medically qualified services. If you, and then it's deducted in the next 12 months from your paycheck pre-tax, so lowering that taxable income. So it's a good benefit to have if you're planning services or if you know you're going to be spending that full $2,500 or at least $500 of that and not leave anything on the table at the end of the year. And then you also have dependent care FSA, and this is to pay for services, either adult daycare or child daycare for dependents, and you can elect up to $5,000 in a calendar year, and this is deducted from your paycheck per pay period and put into an account to either pay the services or pay yourself back after you pay for the services. Any question on these two? Okay, some resources available. You have the Nurse on Call available with Aetna, a really good resource if you have questions in regard to medical care, side effects on new prescriptions, interaction with medications. They'll have your information on hand, prescriptions, any diagnosis information, so it's a really good resource to have. Some discounts available on Aetna. I recommend once you get your Aetna ID card, you go onto the website, build your profile, and take advantage of some of the items that are free to you on that site. And of course, like everybody else, Aetna has their mobile app that you can download to your telephone, so that will help you find providers, pharmacy, urgent care in your immediate area. And you also have telemedicine available through Teladoc. So everybody enrolled in the Aetna plan will have access to the Teladoc. So if you enroll in the copay plan to the PPO 1000, you have a $25 copay for general medicine. If you enroll in the high deductible health plan, you have a $45 copay for the general medicine. So the copays listed here are for the high deductible health plan. All the other copays depend on which plan you enroll in. So the other plan, you're going to pay the specialist copay for these services. So it's a little less expensive. But available 24/7, 365. It is, the calls are answered by board certified physicians or clinicians. And you can utilize the service as often as you would like and anywhere remotely within the United States. I do recommend once you receive your Aetna ID card, you follow the steps in your enrollment guide and build your profile in there as well. You will have to answer some medical questions and then add a form of payment, which you can use either your flexible spending account card or your HSA card to pay for the services. Any questions? Okay. And beginning of the year, once you enroll and you have your ID card, you also have a wellness program available at no cost, depending if you have an Apple Watch or not. So Aetna partnered with Apple to create a wellness program. So it is tied to an iPhone and an Apple Watch right now. There are talks to introduce it to Android or other type of wearables as well, but right now it is only tied to an iPhone and Apple Watch. It is an app that you download to your iPhone and you pair it with your Aetna account. So once you have all that information, you can download the app. If you have an Apple Watch that's existing, you can pair it and start to utilize that and earn points. So it's the goals. So Aetna helps you set up goals, wellness goals, or you can set up your own wellness goals. And then throughout the day, the app called Attain also sends you messages via your wearable, your Apple Watch, in regards to walking, standing, breathing exercises, tidbits of information that you acknowledge, and you get points. And as you start to accumulate those points, you can do one of two things with those points, or two things with those points. If you don't have an Apple Watch, you can purchase an Apple Watch through the app. It is a 24-month contract, and it's as low as $8 per month, depending on the type of watch you select. As you accumulate points, you can use those points to pay for the watch. So essentially, it can be free. If you have a watch already and you want to pair it and start earning points, you can cash those points in for gift cards, and we'll see that on the next screen. So these are actual screenshots from my phone, the app. This is what it looks like as you it walks you through it. I do recommend, if you have an iPhone, that you have the two-step authentication completed, because that's a little bit of a hang-up. I didn't know that. I had to reach out to Aetna and Apple and see why it wasn't working, but it was a two-step authentication that wasn't complete on my phone. So once I get that completed, I was able to engage in the app and do everything that I needed to do. So again, you can order the watch via the app, and these are actual screenshots, like I said, and either it can be free, or if you just want a good way to purchase a watch and it's inexpensive, it's a good way to do it. But this screen here shows you that at that point I had only earned 845 points, and then it says if I earned 8,000 points, and I would not pay anything. So Aetna would pay for my watch. Again, and I start to accumulate points, then I can turn them in for gift cards through Amazon, Apple, CVS, Fandango, Target. There's a whole list of different places you can cash those points in for. And here's some more screenshots of what the app looks like. So the middle phone there, one of the challenges was go for a walk, and you acknowledge that, and you get 100 points for that. Getting your well man, well woman check, it's another 4,000 points. Getting your teeth cleaned, it's another X amount of points. So the goals that are sent are very attainable. It's not running a marathon or an Ironman, but if that's something that you're into, by all means, you'll reach these goals a lot sooner than me, for sure. So it's a really good way, and we will get reporting, not on an individual basis on what each person is doing, but as a whole company, where our members fall in as far as wellness. It is a really good way to start and engaging in our own personal wellness. So this will be available at the beginning of the year for everybody that's enrolled in Aetna. Does anybody have any questions?
When do you expect to have the non-iPhone capabilities?
That is something that Aetna is working on now. I don't know. They didn't give me a timeline, unfortunately. They just rolled this out, and we actually were part of the kickoff here in our office, but they don't know when they're going to engage with, non-Apple, non-iPhone. So right now It's a partnership with Apple, and they don't know if how soon they're going to be engaging with with Android type phones and wearables. But we'll definitely disseminate that information as it is available to us. Okay, next we're going to go over the dental. So as you know, the dental plans that you have today dental plan that you have today is going away. You have some options with Delta Dental, 2 plans to choose from. So the first plan is your traditional PPO plan, which means they give you a certain amount of money, in this case $1,500, to use towards your dental services. Your preventative services are going to be covered at 100%, which means cleaning twice a year and x-rays. And additional cleanings are available if you have certain medical conditions, coronary heart disease, are undergoing any kind of chemo radiation therapies, or are pregnant. You get a third cleaning at no cost. Basic services, which are going to cover cavities and emergency treatment, are going to be 80% covered by Delta, and you pick up 20. At that time, when you use either the basic or the major services on this plan, you will be subject to a one-time deductible of $50 as an individual or $150 as a family, and it's a one-time during a calendar year. Major services such as a crown is going to be a 50-50 cost share. And again, your annual maximum per person enrolled on the plan is $1,500. And then this plan has an additional $1,000 to use towards child orthodontia, and it is a one-time lifetime benefit. Now, this plan does pay the same in or out of network. So if your providers are out of network, Delta Dental will pay them the agreed amount that but the difference with out-of-network providers that they may balance bill you because they don't have a signed contract with Delta. You also have a second plan that's available. It's called the DHMO plan. So similar to a medical HMO plan, you have to select a provider. If you don't select a provider, then Delta will assign one based on your home zip code. At any time, you can go in and change the provider either online or via telephone, and each person in the home may have their own provider as well. So on this plan, your preventative services are going to be covered at 100%. All other services are covered under a fee schedule. This plan does not have an annual maximum or an annual deductible, so you can utilize the plan as needed, as frequently as needed throughout the plan year. It does cover adult and child orthodontia, implants, bridges, crowns, every service that you can think of, including teeth bleaching, they are covered all at a fee. On the Delta plans, there are no waiting periods to access the services. There are no pre-existing limitations, so you can access all of the benefits at any time without having to wait. Any question on these two plans? Okay, on the next screen, we see a screenshot of the actual DHMO fee schedule. So this screen shows all of the diagnostic or preventative, and it's all covered at 100%. The member doesn't pay anything. You will get a Delta Dental ID card, whether you enroll in the PPO plan or the DHMO plan, you will get an ID card. If you enroll in the DHMO plan, you will get your card plus a letter naming who your dentist is. In the event that you did not pick the dentist, you can call Delta and change it or go online. As long as you do it before the 21st of the current month, you'll have the new provider available by the first of the following month. So very important there to note that. Any questions? Okay. Some resources available on the Delta website. Again, I recommend once you get your ID cards, going in and set up your login and your profile so you have access to all of the information that's available through Delta. They also have a mobile app you can download, and you can have your ID cards on your phone versus a paper ID card. It's a little bit more convenient. And next, we're going to talk about the vision plan. So the vision plan is still with iMed. There is a change in the network. It is now called the Insight Network versus the Select that is today. Your exams are still available every 12 months at a $10 copay. So if you went in 2019 to get your exam, you can go at any time during 2020. Because it is a new contract, you don't have to wait that full 12 months from the date of your last exam. An enhancement to the program this year is your frames are now available every 12 months versus every 24 months. Your standard plastic lenses, single vision, bifocal, or trifocal, is a $10 copay. And then any lens treatment, such as polycarbonate, tinting, anti-reflective, is now going to be a copay versus a percentage of charge. So you'll see a little bit of a savings there as well. And then if you wear contact lenses, you have an $80 allowance to use towards those contact lenses, and then 15% off anything in excess. Now, iMed does treat contact lenses and lenses for your frames exactly the same way, which means you can have one each year and not both. However, let's say in 2020 you elected on contact lenses, you still have that frame allowance available, which means you can purchase that, take advantage of that, and then your lenses will be at a 40% discount. So you may still be able to get both. Any questions on the iMed plan? Okay. Your voluntary life in AT&T is still available. So this is through Unum. So if you are newly eligible or a new hire, you are eligible for the guarantee issue of 5 times annual earnings up to $200,000. For the spouse, up to $25,000, and children 10. Now, if you enrolled when it was presented the first time and you did not max out at 5 times your annual earnings, you can increase it now with no medical underwriting. If you did not and would like to enroll for the first time, then you'll be subject to some medical questions, medical underwriting, and evidence of insurability. And depending on the amount that you elect, there may be additional items that are required. Any questions? Okay. We also have the voluntary long-term disability available. This covers you off the job. So the voluntary long-term disability covers 60% of your pre-disability earnings, up to $7,500 a month. The benefit begins after the 90th day, and it lasts until normal Social Security retirement age. There are some pre-existing limitations on the plan that are called a 312, which means if you saw a provider, were diagnosed, or took medications for a condition 3 months prior to the effective date, and you go out on leave during that next plan year, that diagnoses will be excluded from payment. So if you were diagnosed sometime in November and you go out on long-term disability in 2020 for that same condition, it will not pay. So any other condition or diagnoses will.
Patricia, what are the costs? So can you go back to the life insurance and then also the long-term disability? What are the costs to these employees?
So the cost for the life insurance is in your enrollment packet, and I can bring that up really quick. It is at a large group rate. So I'll bring it up here on the screen. It's the last page of your enrollment packet, the very last page. But these are the rates depending on your age, and this is a price per $10,000. You want to remember to add 20 cents for the accidental death and dismemberment for yourself, 10 cents for your spouse, and 4 cents for children. So I don't know if you want to pick on the youngest person in the room, and I typically like to, or anybody who wants to volunteer their age.
I'm 38.
38 years old. So you would pay $1.27 for $10,000 of life insurance, and add the 20, so $147 for $10,000 of life insurance per month. So on the same page towards the bottom is information on how to calculate based on the amount that you would like to enroll in. And if you need assistance with that, I can definitely help. But it's fairly inexpensive.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You just don't get to carry it.
So is that employee per 10,000 of income or 10,000 per coverage?
10,000 of coverage. So if you want $100,000, you take that times 10, right?
Yeah, well, the formula is, yes, so you do the amount that you want to be covered divided by $10,000, and then that divide times the rate. That's your monthly. That's your monthly cost. And then depending at, it probably breaks it down per pay period, but that's the monthly cost. Any other questions? Okay. Disability, you also have the ability to enroll in AFLAC. So if you're not familiar with AFLAC or the DUC, they are indemnity plans, which means they pay you directly. They don't pay the providers. They don't coordinate. They don't have a network. Depending on the plan you enroll in and the event that you have is how much they are going to pay out. These are very customized programs or coverages that do require an AFLAC member to call you, have a one-on-one with you in order to go over all the benefits that are available. And depending on your life, your family situation, if you're a single parent, double parent, single person is the cost. Also, once you enroll in AFLAC, you stay at that same rate throughout the length of the coverage. So it doesn't go up year over year, and it doesn't go up by utilization either. So if you're interested, there's also some information in your enrollment packet and here on the screen as well. You can email or contact Jose, and he or one of his enrollers will call you and go over all the benefits that are available under AFLAC. You also have a Legal Shield and ID Shield available to you. So these are all voluntary programs that require online enrollment. They are also in your enrollment packet. The Legal Shield helps you, has really good benefits. Standard will preparation is one of them, 24/7 emergency assistance if you need legal consultation. ID Shield helps with credit monitoring and helps if you become a victim of identity theft and restoration of that. And United Pet Care, that's pet health care, and it helps mitigate some of those costs with veterinary bills and pharmacy, so it's a really good resource as well. There are no limitations or exclusions or breeds that are excluded or number of pets that you want to cover, so it's a really good saver. It's worked wonders for me. Anybody have any questions on these items? And then finally, we just ask that you complete either your enrollment form or your waiver by Monday and get it submitted to Jasmine so she can put everything in the system. If you're going to enroll in the high deductible health plan, I do ask that you go online and enroll in UMB Bank and let Jasmine know as well. And I do recommend that you do it before the first of the year or the first week of the first of the year, because if you enroll and you have a claim and your account is not open, you cannot use any of those HSA dollars to pay for past claims. So even if you open it sometime in December and there's no money in there, and in January you go to the doctor and you now have a claim, well, because it was open before the first of the year or before the first claim hit, any money going in there you can use to pay for those claims. If you're on a payment plan or whatever, however you want to do it, you can do that, but it has to be open before the first claim hits. Otherwise, you cannot. Very important there, and of course, taking advantage of the contributions and then putting it in your own pre-tax dollars. Your life and disability forms, if you're going to enroll, please submit those as well so we can send them to UNUM. Flexible spending account, if you're not going to enroll in that, we don't need it back from anybody. Does anybody have any questions? Would you like me to review the enrollment packet that was sent?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So it's an 18-page document, the enrollment packet. So what we need completed on here, obviously, is your information. If you're going to be enrolling dependents, we do need their social security number. It is required. If you are going to be waiving, we need section A, F, and G completed and returned. Now here in section C, as you can see on the screen in red, these are the employer contributions. So this is how much is going to be placed in your HSA account per month. Okay, keep that in mind when you select your own HSA amount, that you subtract these dollar figures from there. Okay, so again, for yourself, it's $3,550. For a family, $7,100. That's the annual limit. Make sure you subtract the amount that Apsco is contributing towards your HSA from those annual maximums, and then you can put in the difference yourself. Any questions on that? Okay. This is the FSA form, the flexible spending account. Again, if you're not enrolling in that, you don't need to do anything with this form. This is the UNUM life insurance form. So if you're newly eligible or presented for the first time, you're going to do initial enrollment. If you're going to increase what you already have, then you do annual enrollment and complete. Make sure to complete the second page, which is your beneficiaries section. So please make sure that's complete. Otherwise, I get to put my information in there. And then the next one is your long-term disability form, and this again needs to be completed, and it's based on your salary and age, and there's a little box here that helps you calculate that piece. And then we have the Legal Shield, ID Shield. There's a link here to follow and enroll. Then we'll get information, and it will be payroll deducted. It gives you a little bit more information on what services are covered under both of these programs and then the cost. Then the next page is going to be your United Pet Care. So it gives you the cost. It gives you also a link to it online. Again, this is payroll deducted. Both ID Shield, Legal Shield, your life insurance, and long-term disability, those are all post-tax deductions. Your medical, dental, vision, and HSA, those are pre-tax deductions. And then here are the prices for the pet health care and the link. And then the AFLAC information, if you would like more information or would like somebody to contact you, you can complete this, send it to me, and I'll make sure to get somebody to call you immediately. And then the next page gives you a little bit of more breakdown of the services that are being offered or the coverages that are being offered with AFLAC. Then the rest of these pages are the life insurance information. So it gives you all of the limitations, what is covered for the spouse, for yourself, for the children. The guarantee issue amounts are listed on here as well. Exclusions, portability and conversion information, because this plan is portable. If you leave the company, you take it with you. Same with the AFLAC. And then the very last page, as we went over, are the rates for the life insurance. Any questions or anything else that you would like to review? I'm going to pull up just really quick the benefit guide. That's one of the attachments, just to go over the UMB information. That's your HSA bank. So on this page, which is page 8, yes, page 8 is the information on UMB Bank. You will get a debit card to use for your services. You can use a QR code or the link that's on here and enroll. Again, once you complete that process, please email Jasmine, listed here in the body of the invite, and let her know that you've completed that process so she knows to activate either those deductions and those contributions. Anything else or any questions?
This is Ann. I still have some questions on the health savings account.
Okay.
So can you use it to pay? You can use it to pay medical deductible. You can use it to pay dental, eyeglasses,
Massages.
Yes, anything your doctor can write you a script for, and you're correct on the massages, Pilates, yoga. If your doctor says you would benefit from yoga and writes a script for yoga, you can use that. And the reason you need that is because, at the end of the year when you do your reconciliation, in case you get a 1099 saying it was an exclusion, well, it was something that's medically necessary. Per a medical professional. So anything your doctor can write a script for, you can use your HSA dollars for. Also, Amazon makes it quite convenient for us because they have a FSA and an HSA store now available on their site. So you can go in and see what's on there. There's vitamins, contact lens solution, a whole list of items on there that you can purchase with your HSA dollars. You can use it for your medical copays, or to pay towards your deductible, since it's a high deductible health plan. You can use it for your dental. You can use it for your vision, contact lenses. You can use it for LASIK surgery. You can use it for a whole list of things. There's a lot that
Is there a website somewhere that tells you what you can use it for?
There is an IRS website that is available. I also have an HSA guide that I can send. And the HSA guide goes through, how to utilize the plan, etc. And it also has links in there to the IRS website if you want to take a look at that. Also with the UMB bank, you also have the ability to invest some of those dollars once you reach $1,000 threshold in there, and any interest earned is going to be tax free. So it's a really good benefit with UMB Bank. So I can send additional information. I can send you the HSA guide with all the additional information on there, and then the IRS link as well to qualified expenses or qualified purchases, if you will, or how you can use your HSA dollars.
Can you go ahead and send that to me, and then if anybody has any questions, I can give it out
Yes.
as needed? Thank you.
Actually, can we get a copy of this whole
That information is all in your email on the invite. There's like,
I got a bunch of pages there.
yeah,
But I didn't get like this.
that's in there, in the invite. Is that correct, Letitia, that this form that you're looking at right now is in the invite?
This is in the 2020 benefit guide. The front page looks like this.
I looked at it this morning.
2020 benefit guide, and it has welcome to open enrollment. It goes over everything that we touched on during the open enrollment and additional information, how to find your providers, things of that nature. Everything is listed on there. If you need additional information on providers with Aetna or Delta, you can reach out to me. So my return email, and can I use you as a point of contact?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I will send you the HSA guide. I will send you a Delta dental provider search. It's a one-pager. It's a little bit easier to navigate through that for the PPO and the DHMO in the event that you want to sign up for the DHMO. And I will also send you the YouTube link to this presentation.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Thank you guys so much for your time today, and I will get that email out as soon as the conversion for the link is done.
Great. Thank you, Letitia. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.